Mic speeds, camera speeds. I don't know if the focus works. All right, so for this episode, I'm going to read from my journal just for the sake of time, and so I don't have to edit it so much. Awakening is my new addition to the show's title. It feels more relevant and true to the way in which I'm seeing things. This is from January 14th. I started the show as a TV show development project out of a life coaching program with Amari. I believe the show was coming from a place of frustration, anger, and hurtfulness underneath. And I was trying to fit it in a box, almost honest enough. The word honest on my page here reminds me of honey. So here's a little bit about the show. I'll show you the presentation deck that was developed, one of many. So this is an earlier deck of the show, once it was finally named This Is Absurd. Before that, the working title was No Exceptions. It's all about recognizing things that are uncomfortable, unhealthy, unsafe, and that hurt our experiences as humans, and the fact that we are humans and we could do something about it. You could read this if you want, but I just wanted to make this episode to process through the frustrations and the thoughts behind the TV show that then became this podcast as a test. Here's the show's format. I really liked Explained from Vox, and I really like Anthony Bourdain's No Reservations, and I really like Epically Latered. And if you put the three together, you would get the TV show I want to make. Amari's slotted in as the host at this stage in the development, which I think he could do a fantastic job. But I know that making a show requires many cooks in the kitchen, and how do we make this thing if we really wanted to? Here's an argument for why people would watch, how people are, upset about the topics of traffic, too much work time, not affording homes, life depending on something as artificial as money. People don't have meaning in their lives. Parenting is especially hard. There's a threat of displacement due to artificial intelligence. And obviously, a ton of people have mental health problems that they just can't seem to get rid of. So that's the first 8 episodes of the show. You could read more here if you'd like. The first episode is Killing the Traffic Jam. This was before the conflict in Israel, and the idea was to go to Tel Aviv, where there's a pocket of technology companies working to reduce traffic of all sorts and varieties. Some other companies were also in ideas of talking to them, but I've accepted traffic more, and I avoid it far more now in my life. But wouldn't this be a cool episode? People solving traffic, getting rid of it. Episode 2 is the alternative work week, 4-day, 3-day. I don't give a shit. Just a better work week, because we need more time to do us, not the corporation's biddings. Here's home ownership as an episode. We would probably travel the globe, where homes are much more affordable for the public in different countries. Life Without Money is probably about UBI and other arrangements that are completely possible because we make up everything anyways. And we could understand each other because the landscape is a human one when we're talking about finances. Mental health replaced by AI, optimal parent leave. The parent one had a really cool influence. I think they subsidize nannies in South Korea, which would probably be part of that episode. Very fun and cute. and the meaning crisis. Hopefully that episode would talk with John Vervaeke. You could look him up if you don't know who he is. Here's me, the creator. I got a director's reel. That's my son, probably 2 years ago, eating my hair. And then this was written to someone named Jason for a program that never worked out. There's a pitch at the end if you want to check it out. I haven't read it in a really long time, but here's a different deck that was generated after we had a few episodes in the can. I had tons of beginner's luck getting amazing guests on the show, and I'm super grateful for every one of them. Frustration to creation. This was me recognizing my frustration, and I'm trying to process it more. There's another thesis with screenshots from some of the episodes. Enjoy our lovely mugs there. This is a new focus for season 2, which I'm still refocusing, and the title of this episode probably reflects that. Here's some sample episodes with some of my lovely guests that are working on really important things today. Amazing stuff. Here's 2 more. We can reduce Los Angeles traffic by 20% tomorrow. That's bold. And he's probably right if people listen to people like him. And there's Bruno there. Thanks, Bruno, for being on the show. Thank you. Now I'm going to show you a trailer that was a thought experiment put into edit, which probably will get me in trouble with the law, but out of bravery and love, I share it.
This is your 109th day this year of sitting in this traffic for over an hour.
I cannot think of a more terrible way to spend my life than sitting in this slow-moving box, moving inch and inch closer to death, surrounded by other people doing the same.
Then let's go find out, man.
Who said that?
This is TV. We can go meet anyone. Go anywhere.
Okay.
Autonomous cars will take too long, my man. Come on. How do we make today better?
The Housing First program has reduced Helsinki's homelessness by 99%.
This is meaning. This is relevance realization.
I like this guy.
I really think you are onto something here.
So let me get this. You learn to trust your horse, and then you learn to trust yourself again.
Every city needs this to compete in the future. Traffic congestion will be unbearable without a smarter infrastructure like what we are working on.
I think we made a mistake, man. We need someone more creative on this.
There's nothing that can be done to change inflation and interest rates.
Do you hear yourself? That's nonsense. It's all made up.
Are you having fun yet? Now you're seeing it even more clearly. This is absurd. But guess what? There's a better way out there being discovered, invented, created.
You know what? You're right. Let's get it.
Alrighty. Here's some more. Alright, so hopefully Hollywood and other assorted entities and people and things and places and intellectual property holders don't go after me for sharing that trailer. That was a test trailer, which is a pitch trailer, which maybe shouldn't have been posted, but we'll find out. Well, I don't know if I'll ever make a show like this, but I don't need to. I'm searching for what I need to do because I will be far more powerful. Now, as for burying one of the leads, the word awakening in the new title comes from John Vervaeke and his Awakening from the Meaning Crisis series on YouTube. I watched it years ago and dabbled in his later works like After Socrates. John's very good at naming videos, I must say. The double meanings. I also track a bit with Michael Levine, Ian McGilchrist, and others. So they're very much influencing how I think, somewhat. And I share this because prior, I was afraid to affiliate or change the title of a podcast with a man I don't know. And I know he hasn't trademarked the word awakening, but the influence is behind the point of it. But I guess perhaps I just haven't had a one-on-one dialogue with him. I share this to cite my sources of inspiration. I plan to refine things a bit, and the next episode will be all about my previous guests and a guide on which to watch. So look out for the next episode of Awakening to the Absurd.